Hello, this is Sarah Brush. Welcome back to my channel. So I want to do a video about Ron DeSantis and about how I am going to 100% vote for Ron DeSantis if he is the Republican nominee. And that will be regardless of who the Democratic nominee is. As most people know, of course, I will never vote for a Democrat ever again after what they did to me. They tried to get me killed. They literally tried to get me killed. They pushed the Living or Not Being While Black hate crime hoax at Yale as part of Biden's presidential campaign. U.S. Representative Cedric Richmond did this. He grossly defamed me in Yahoo News. He said that I was an egregious racist and that my egregious racism was motivated by Trump. And as I've explained, in 2016 when Trump won, I actually cried. I was a lifelong Democrat and I actually cried. And And I am a Democrat no more, and I strongly encourage everyone to walk away from the Democratic Party. They are vile, they are evil, they didn't just try to get me killed, they've been grossly violating and undermining the US Constitution with their brazenly unconstitutional new form of hate crime legislation in the form of Karen laws meant to demonize white women for black trauma, moral outrage, industry money, and to smear Trump and to gain political power. I just want so much for people to understand, especially people who are incensed right now about Roe v. Wade and about the constitutional right to abortion. And the Democrats have basically made clear that they are not going to fight to secure the right to abortion for everyone in the US. They've made this abundantly clear in recent days. And I just want everyone who said that you had to vote Democrat to save Roe v. Wade and to save the constitutional right to abortion to understand this. The Democrats, including Hillary Clinton, including Barack and Michelle Obama, including Joe Biden, they don't care about Roe v. Wade, and they don't care about the Supreme Court overturning Roe v. Wade, and they don't care. They're happy. They're thrilled. The Democrats are thrilled that the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade. I promise you they're thrilled. The Democrats pretend to care about issues when they think they can raise money by doing so. This is why they perpetrated Living While Black and Me Too hoaxes. This is why they pushed the Living or Not Being While Black hate crime hoax at Yale, even though they absolutely knew, they 100% knew that I was an innocent Yale grad student and lifelong civil rights attorney. They knew that. They absolutely knew that. And one of the reasons why I know they knew that is because I was the social psychology PhD student of Tom Tyler, one of the co-directors of the Justice Collaboratory at Yale Law School. Tom Tyler and Tracy Mears, the other co-director of the Justice Collaboratory at Yale Law School, were on Barack Obama's 21st Century Policing Task Force. Okay? So don't tell me that Michelle and Barack Obama didn't know that I was a completely innocent Yale grad student and lifelong civil rights attorney who had worked for and with the Justice Collaboratory at Yale Law School on the issues of implicit bias and police brutality. Don't tell me they didn't know that, because they knew. They absolutely knew that. Before they chose to try to get me killed, to try to drive me to suicide, for political power and gain, and for Black trauma, moral outrage, industry money. So I just want people to understand this. And it became clear in the courts when Bernie Sanders was being excluded from the political process by the Democratic Party. The Democratic Party made clear that they are under no obligation to follow their rules and regulations. They are under no obligation to recognize the choices, to recognize the desires of their constituency, which is, or well, they're not even their constituency, but of their registered party members. And they are a private corporation, and their only obligation is to raise money. Like, that is their primary function and purpose, is to fundraise. So they only pretend to care about issues when they think they can make money by doing so. The Democratic Party only pretends to care about issues, including Roe v. Wade, including Black Lives Matter, including Living While Black, including police brutality, including implicit bias. They only pretend to care about issues, regardless of whether they're woke, unwoke, where they fall, for the most part, in terms of people's allegiance to those issues, people along the political spectrum. It doesn't matter. The Democratic Party only pretends to care about issues when they can make money from doing so. Please understand that. Please know that. And so, of course, I'm never going to vote Democrat again because they tried to kill me. And also, Kristen Clark, President Biden's new civil rights head at the Justice Department, she also waged a Twitter terror campaign against me via woke KKK cancel culture and trial by Twitter for Black trauma, moral outrage, industry money, even though there's no way she didn't know that I was an entirely innocent Yale grad student and lifelong civil rights attorney. So, and it's mind-boggling that she was actually confirmed for that position. She completely undermined due process, and it's the antithesis of rule by law, what she did to me. It was vigilante mob injustice, the antithesis of what we should be aspiring to under the US Constitution. So, yeah, it's just rule of law. I'm sorry. So it just shocks me to my core every time I even think about it, what she did to me, and the fact that no one questioned her about it. She is the new head of civil rights at the Justice Department, Kristen Clark. She literally tried to drive me to suicide via woke KKK cancel culture and trial by Twitter without due process. She almost succeeded. This is the antithesis of what we should be looking for in someone to lead the Civil Rights Department at the Department of Justice. She helped lead the witch hunt at Yale that almost got me killed, completely undermining any notion of due process, fair trial protections. She tried to inflict social death or suicide upon me. It's truly disgusting. It's truly disgusting. And the fact that no one in the Senate questioned her about this when she was confirmed, no one questioned her about it. She was just confirmed. Like that never happened. Like I'm not still alive. Like I didn't die. Or like I did die, I mean. And yeah, it's shocking. It's truly shocking. So the grossly unconstitutional Karen laws are beyond belief. They are beyond belief. It's a brazen new form of hate crime legislation. I've made other videos and blog posts about this, meant to target and demonize white women, and it's just shocking that the Democrats did this. It was across the U.S., in state and municipal legislatures across the U.S. They're grossly unconstitutional. They aren't even feigning trying to abide by the U.S. Constitution. It's a brazen new form of hate crime legislation. They're grossly unconstitutional bills of attainder. And a bill of attainder is when a legislature legislates that a particular individual or group is a criminal. And the legislators who actually promulgated the Karen law in New York State, they just openly and brazenly referred to it as the Amy Cooper law. And I am cited in the legislative history for most of these Karen laws. It's truly shocking. It's shocking to my core. It's a brazen violation of the U.S. Constitution. And this is why I will never vote for a Democrat again. It's not even just about the fact that they're brazenly trying to undermine the Federal Civil Rights Act as well. And it's not even about the fact that they tried to kill me. Of course, I'm not going to vote for them ever again. But they're trying to undermine the U.S. Constitution, decimate the Federal Civil Rights Act, decimate the constitutional principles of due process and equal protection. So it's just, I will never vote for a Democrat ever again after the past few years, which shocked me to no end. And so this is why I am an independent. And I've mentioned before, including on Twitter, that I'm actually really like what Michael Schellenberger said on Bill Maher the other week. And what he said is that he's an independent because he's, liberal because he's a civil libertarian and believes in civil liberties for one and all. And so do I. I'm a hardcore civil libertarian. And he's progressive because he cares about the marginalized and oppressed. And of course, so do I. I called myself a proud social justice warrior before the Living or Not Being Well Black hate crime hoax happened. And I'm still a civil rights attorney. I've spent the past, 4 years helping trans folks get new documents in their new gender identities. I've spent the past 4 years sealing criminal records and helping people from the low and no income population rebuild their lives so that they can take care of their families. So, and then I'm also a conservative in that I know you need robust social institutions with an infrastructure that's tried and true, that we know works, that's robust, that's meaningful, to be able to guarantee civil liberties for one and all, to be able to help the oppressed and the marginalized become more assimilated into the political process. So I'm an independent. I strongly encourage everyone to walk away from the Democratic Party. And I've flirted with the notion of becoming a member of the Libertarian Party, which I live in Nevada. They have a stronghold here in Nevada. And there's a lot of things that I really like about the Libertarian Party, but I think and I think of the Libertarians as being independents basically, but I just prefer to be an independent. And oh my goodness, I can't believe I just sneezed on camera. We'll see how I might have to edit that out. And we'll see how that looked. That was funny. So, but I think I just prefer to be an independent. So, anyway, I don't know why I'm saying a lot tonight. I don't think I usually do that. I think I'm just tired. It's super late, but I just wanted to make a few videos because I said I would, and then I got sidetracked tonight. I just want to say that I think Ron DeSantis will make a fine president, and I think that he just seems like a very intelligent, very competent person. I like a lot of his woke tyranny policies, and I agree with him on those points, and I think that he will make a really good president. And I will be very happy to vote for him if he is the Republican nominee, regardless of who the Democratic nominee is. I would have, otherwise possibly considered voting third party, probably for the Libertarian Party. But if Ron DeSantis is the Republican nominee, I will vote for him proudly. I'll be happy to vote for him. And I don't see myself becoming a member of the Republican Party, like I said, because I see myself, yes, as having conservative leanings because of my belief in the necessity of robust social institutions, but I'm also, have other leanings as well. And with the Libertarian, that's also, I feel like, in some sense, with the Libertarian Party, I'm very, very much a super hardcore civil libertarian. And after the experiences that I've had, I do believe much more strongly in the need for small government, that they always make things worse, basically, almost. And so I do, I'm leaning much more to being a big L libertarian than I was. But I do think that there has to be a social safety net, maybe more so than most big L libertarians do. I just don't think that when you have the kind of wealth that we have as a nation, it's just not okay. It's immoral, in my opinion, to allow people to fall through the cracks and families to end up destitute and on the streets. And what I do right now, one of the things I do is I stop families from being evicted from their homes, from their apartments. That's one of the jobs that I have right now, and I love it so much. And every day I'm in tears because someone sends me an email to tell me that I saved their lives and stopped them from being evicted, and otherwise they would have been on the street with their kids. And I just don't think that that's acceptable in a nation with the kind of wealth that we have. That shouldn't be happening. If you're working, if you're trying to stay afloat, and you're trying to, pay your rent, and you're doing all of the right things, it shouldn't be the case in a nation with as much wealth as we have that you end up losing your apartment, especially when we're in the middle of the pandemic. Well, the pandemic's basically over, thank God. But especially when we were in the middle of the pandemic, it's just not okay to let that happen. We don't have to let that happen. We can help people. And in most of the cases that I work on, it's just like $1,000 or $2,000 saves an entire family with kids from being thrown out on the street. $1,000 or $2,000. That's usually all it takes to stop a family from being evicted, so that they can get back on their feet and get back on track. Some people it's more, but it's probably usually $1,000 or $2,000 or $3,000 for the most part. Anywho, okay, I just want to encourage everybody to please walk away from the Democratic Party. Please vote for Ron DeSantis if he is the governor of Florida, if he becomes the Republican nominee. I will be doing so. I will be proud to do so. And I just want people to understand that, don't vote for the Democratic Party, because they don't actually care about the issues they espouse to care about. They don't. And they only pretend to care about issues to take your money. And, they told you to vote for them to save Roe v. Wade. And now they're not doing anything to protect Roe v. Wade. That's what the Democratic Party thinks of your votes, thinks of your principles, thinks of what you care about. They don't care. They don't really care. Please know that. I will have all of my fundraising links below so that if you choose to, you can please donate to me so that I can save due process and equal protection at Yale and everywhere, and end woke KKK cancel culture and trial by Twitter without due process. I love you all so much. Okay, have a great night. I'll talk to you later.